Do you ever feel weird selling from stage? I can tell you this in my own experience and after coaching a lot of people, when I find people presenting on stage, a webinar, it's almost like they have two presentations. One, they teach all this content, but then when it comes time to pitch or make an offer, they speed up, they get weird, it's awkward. And the way that I want you to think about it, in life and in business, all results, all behaviors are driven by some kind of thoughts and feelings and beliefs. Beliefs that you have about selling, about time, about money, about people, about your audience, those beliefs inside of you are what shape the context of your communication. And so we always say belief is something that gets transferred. And if you are uncertain in the selling process, they're going to be pretty uncertain in the buying process. And belief is simply a feeling of certainty. So you transferring this feeling of certainty in the close, in the pitch, means that you need to have certain key beliefs about what's happening. And people that I see struggle when they're teaching, they believe they're giving. They believe they're helping. They believe they're serving. They believe that they're doing a very good thing and they're getting all this positive reinforcement. And in your life, you've probably been on the receiving end. You've had experiences where somebody pitched you or sold you and you're like, I don't want to be like that. And so because of that distinction, that frame, that experience, that sales trauma in your mind, you don't want to be that way. So when it comes time for you to make the offer, which is how you support yourself and feed your family and all of that, so you got to do it. What happens for people is they're transitioning from the teaching to the selling is not just that they speed up. It's not just that they rush it. It's not just that they make it weird. It's that something inside of them has shifted in their communication with themselves that is creating that weird connection with their audience. And so what we really need to think of whenever we see a behavior or something that's not aligned, what's causing that? And so we could look at the tactical things like slow down, be more present, let it land. Those are all tactics, but all the tactics, all the things that you do are really shaped by your beliefs and your identity and your experiences or references. So if you have lots of negative references around selling based on how people have sold you, that association inside of you is going to change how you actually do the selling. Results come from decisions, which come from actions, which come from thoughts and feelings, which come from beliefs. And so you have certain beliefs around selling, you have certain beliefs around teaching, but maybe some of the beliefs that you have aren't really serving you. So we got to look at that. And then if we go one level deeper, the beliefs that you have around selling, around being pitched to, all of those beliefs have come from your references or experiences. And so you probably had an experience where somebody pitched you and you didn't like it. And because of that, you have a negative association to it. So one of the things that I find for myself that's really helped to reframe my own mind around something that I know is not serving me, like you might have around selling, is asking myself, what else could this mean? Have you ever had a great teacher, a great book, could be a great video, or a piece of content or some advice, something that somebody taught you, they sold you, and maybe you bought that $15 book and you read it and you're like, oh my God, if I hadn't read that book, I'd be worse off. You need to believe those people are in your audience and your life would massively be worse if you not had those insights and information from people that actually poured into you. They put all their time and energy into that presentation, into that offer, into that book, and you bought it. And that's the only way you got the transformation. There's a transaction that led to the transformation. And you said, hey, my $15 is worth less than what I believe will happen as a result of me buying that book. And so you bought. That's building the value. But you need to know that's inside of you in what you're offering. And so I want you to be so confident in your pitch to really have the certainty, know that, hey, this can change somebody's life. And so if somebody's resonating with you and they're connecting with you, they should want to transact with you. You've probably heard this before, and I got this from one of my mentors, Barry Baumgartner, absolutely brilliant. She says, sales is a service. Sales is not something we do to people. It's something we truly do for people because we're changing their associations as what it means to invest in themselves. And so the people that are going through the presentation and it's good, and then they get weird, is because something inside of their psychology, they have a negative association to selling, and so they don't want to be viewed in that way. So they act in a way where they protect themselves. But also when you are pitching or selling and it's weird for you, Here's a belief shift that could absolutely help you. Most people, when they're teaching, they believe they're being a giver, and they teach when they're selling, they believe they're being a taker. I think it's just the opposite. And I think for a lot of you, when you're giving, you feel really good and people are receiving it. But when you make an offer, not only might you feel like you're taking, this is also the part where you could be rejected. And maybe you've been rejected. You've made offers for, hey, do you want to go on this date with me? Hey, do you want to take this walk with me? Hey, do you want to go get something to eat? And so the great distinction for you is simply this: get really associated to the people that have sold you and it was good, and to really believe those people are in your audience. If you're writing a book, you can think of books that you've read that have massively impacted your life, and had that person not written that book and had you buy it, your life wouldn't be where it is today. And so you get to be that for them. And they can't really get the transformation unless they transact with you. And so we're enrolling people in a possibility. And we want the energy to feel really clean, to feel really nice. That's why they call it closing. We've opened the door to a conversation. And what we're doing is we're closing the door. We're embracing those concerns and we're closing this up so that people can take it with them. That's what the close is all about. It's about completion. And so we're getting them committed, not just so they buy, we're getting them committed to take the next logical step in what it is they really want, what they've been educated for and what they've been interested in, why they clicked, why they liked, why they subscribed, why they watched, why they bought, why they did the thing. This is the next logical step. And it can't happen unless you feel really good about the selling process. So think about the people in your life that have sold you and you was really good. Also, know that their buying or not has nothing to do with your self-worth. If they don't take the offer, it's not that they're rejecting you. Some people it just wasn't the time. Or maybe there's some things that you could have done in the presentation up front. But what's got to be clean in you, there's a lot of tactical things you can do. What's got to be clean is the energy and the certainty and the belief about what you're selling. Reframe in your mind any negative associations. For me, if somebody sells me in a negative way, I think, wow, that was really dumb. I'm going to use that in my content. So if you are a creator, it's great. You use your experiences. Even the people that you see on stage that are doing really well, they often tell their story and it's about how something bad happened to them and they overcame it. You might be in that part of your story right now. This is your hero's journey. Don't get stuck in Act 1. Don't get stuck in Act 2. You want to complete the journey. And you're going to take many journeys in your life and have many stories. And as you go through the good ones and the bad ones, you'll share those stories. And that's more content. That's more wisdom. That's more things that you can do to prevent that happening to somebody else by things that you teach and share and sell in your offer, because it's your wisdom. And the wisdom that you've created from your own experience will be much more powerful than anything anybody else can regurgitate. And so it's your experiences of what make it rich, and your belief that what you have inside of you can really serve somebody, but you also know that they need to pay for it, and that what they pay for it will be far more valuable than them wasting the time, energy, and effort that they would need to apply without your product, your service, or your idea. So a few tips there. What's been powerful for you out of this? I'd love to hear it down below. So if you are selling from stage or having a desire to sell from stages, webinars, events, all that stuff, and you want some help, we don't have any fancy thing. Go to Instagram, EliWild_sales, and just comment the word help, and I'll reach out to you and see if there's a way that we can help you with your next event, presentation, webinar, stage talk, keynote, anything you can do where you scale your influence in a way that helps masses of people. I'm your guy and I want to help you. Much love. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.